There's a moment in every relationship that many people never see coming. It's when an avoidant man, someone who once seemed completely fine walking away, starts to realize what he lost. At first, it looks like he's unaffected. He acts calm, posts pictures like everything is normal, maybe even seems happier without you. But slowly, underneath that mask of indifference, regret begins to grow. Carl Jung once said that the parts of ourselves we push down, the parts we try to avoid, always come back. And for an avoidant man, regret is one of those things. In this video, I'm going to share 8 things an avoidant man does when he regrets losing you. These are the hidden signs that his cool exterior is starting to crack and the truth is catching up with him. He pretends he's fine, but the mask slips. The first stage is always denial. He'll act like nothing has changed, like your absence doesn't affect him at all. You might see him out with friends, posting photos, or joking around like he's perfectly okay. But if you pay attention, it's not as effortless as it looks. The smile is a little forced. The updates are more for show than for joy. That mask of indifference is exactly that, a mask. When someone truly doesn't care, they don't need to prove it. The fact that he's going out of his way to show he's fine is already a clue that regret is starting to creep in. He starts reliving the memories. Regret often shows up in the form of memory. An avoidant man will start replaying moments with you in his head, the good times, the laughs, the connection he thought he could do without. At first, he might dismiss it as nostalgia, but as time goes on, those memories don't go away. They get stronger. What he once took for granted now feels valuable. He'll remember the comfort of your presence, the way you made life easier, warmer, more grounded. And those memories begin to sting because he realizes he can't just recreate them with someone new. He checks up on you without admitting it. One of the clearest signs of regret is when he starts quietly checking on you. He won't reach out directly, not yet, but he'll watch your Instagram stories, scroll through your posts, maybe even ask mutual friends how you're doing. He wants to know if you've moved on, if you're happy, if someone else has stepped into his place. This is a classic avoidant behavior, staying close enough to feel connected, but far enough to avoid real vulnerability. It's not casual curiosity. It's his way of keeping a thread tied to you without admitting how much he cares. He struggles with inner conflict. When regret really begins to set in, it creates conflict inside him. On one hand, he wants to maintain his independence, his pride, the story he told himself about not needing anyone. On the other hand, he feels the pull of what he lost. He'll swing between extremes. One day, convincing himself he made the right choice. The next day, feeling the emptiness of your absence. This inner battle is exhausting for him. It's not something he'll talk about openly, but it shows in his energy, restlessness, irritability, or sudden moments of silence. Regret isn't just about missing you. It's about realizing he may have sabotaged something good, and now he has to live with that. He sends casual messages. Eventually, the pressure builds enough that he tests the waters. It won't be a big declaration. It might just be a late-night, "Hey, how have you been?" Or a comment on something small, like a memory you once shared. It might look like he's being friendly, but make no mistake, this is regret talking. He's checking to see if the bridge between you is still there, if you'll respond, if there's any chance to rebuild what he let slip away. Sometimes it's clumsy, sometimes it's casual, but underneath it's always calculated. Avoidant men rarely admit regret directly. Instead, they drop hints, hoping you'll give them reassurance without them having to expose their vulnerability. They're torn between wanting comfort and fearing rejection, So they test you with fragments of attention, never the full truth, but just enough to see if you'll still meet them halfway. He shifts the blame. Here's a tricky one. Regret doesn't always come out as softness. Sometimes it comes out as blame. Instead of saying, "I miss you," he might tell himself, or even tell others, that the relationship ended because of you, that you were too demanding, or too emotional, or not the right fit. But projection is just a defense mechanism. Blaming you helps him avoid facing the truth, that he pushed away something meaningful and it's eating at him. Even when he points the finger outward, the regret is still there. The blame is just a shield to cover the guilt he doesn't want to face. He tries to replace you and fails. When the weight of regret becomes too heavy, some avoidant men try to distract themselves by jumping into something new. They might date quickly or surround themselves with people who make them feel wanted. But here's the thing, none of it works. Because what he's looking for isn't just someone else. It's the specific connection he had with you, the safety, the warmth, the depth. And every time he tries to find it in someone new, he ends up comparing, and the new relationship falls short. The more he tries to replace you, the more obvious it becomes to him. You were not replaceable. He finally admits regret, in his own way. If the pressure keeps building, there comes a point where he can't keep it all inside anymore. He won't always come out and say the words, "I regret losing you." But you'll hear it between the lines. He might say, "I didn't realize what I had back then," or "I think about you sometimes," or simply, "I miss us." These are not throwaway comments. They are admissions, small, careful, but real. They're his way of finally letting the truth slip past his defenses. The bigger picture. But here's what you need to remember. His regret is his journey, not your responsibility. Yes, he may look back and wish he had chosen differently. Yes, he may feel the weight of losing you. But that doesn't mean it's your job to take him back or to fix the choices he made. Jung often spoke about individuation, the process of becoming your true self, and that's your role here, to keep growing, to keep building your life, to stay rooted in your worth. If he regrets losing you, that's his shadow to wrestle with. What matters is that you don't let his regret pull you back into a cycle where you forget your own value. Because the truth is, when an avoidant man regrets losing you, what he's really realizing is not just that he lost you, but that he lost the version of himself he could have become if he'd been brave enough to stay. And that's a weight only he can carry. So if you're wondering whether he regrets it, look for these 8 signs: the mask of indifference, the haunting memories, the silent check-ins, the inner conflict, the casual messages, the projection of blame, the failed attempts to replace you, and finally, the quiet admission. Each one is a clue that regret has set in, but the most important thing isn't what he feels, it's what you do with your life now. His regret can't define your future. Only your growth, your choices, and your self-respect can do that.